SITE stands for Supporting Innovation and Growth in Healthcare Technologies, and this project is run by the university with two main partners who are Portsmouth University Hospitals and the Wessex Clinical Research Network. SITE is a European regional development funded project, but since Brexit this project has been supported by the Department for Levelling Up, Housing and Communities. The SITE team supports small medium enterprises, SMEs, in England to develop and grow their businesses. It does this by providing one-to-one support, and over the last 3 years we have engaged with over 350 companies. This involves linking these companies up with academics, clinicians and patient ambassadors. They provide advice that will help these companies develop their businesses, which in turn will hopefully lead to improvement in patient care. This will also help them develop and produce more effective medtech innovations, which in the longer term will benefit UK PLC.
The SITE programme came about after conversations with many academics at the university and also in my discussions with many innovators, and we identified that the one thing that they really wanted is an opportunity to work with the NHS, but sometimes it wasn't always very easy for them to do that. So we thought, why don't we create a system that allows SMEs to address some of the challenges that we're facing, and then we can work together to get the research evidence that will allow their products to flourish in the NHS and hopefully, eventually, be a future benefit for patient safety and care.
Essentially, it is seamless, so there is sort of really no border between the hospital and the university in terms of what SITE can do for these SMEs.
We had a general principle that anything that can improve an outcome in the NHS or an innovation that changes the way we work or it could transform a clinical pathway was eligible for the SITE programme, with the loose label that it was under healthcare. With this general label, we had so many companies with so many outstanding products, but also products that made us think to see whether or not we could change our clinical pathways to get the best out of a program. So it was not always having an innovation looking for a cause, but we had multiple solutions, and then the innovators were able to develop and reconstruct some of their innovations so it's more easily to apply with the NHS. In the same way, we also found out actually there are some great products out there, but if we did things slightly differently in the NHS, we could get maximum use out of it. So it allowed us a very flexible environment in order to work with SMEs to make sure that we get maximum benefit in the NHS.
Actually, I'm hugely impressed with the SITE programme and with the ideas that have been coming through from SMEs. And the best bit about it is bringing those people with their passions and their ideas and their experience into a space where they can then bounce off clinicians, members of the public, and improve those ideas and refine them.
Firstly, it improves patient care. There's no question about it. We have a lot of innovations out there. As I've looked through, so SITE, for example, has I think over nearly close to 400 companies working with us. And the level of innovation is amazing. It's astounding. When I first joined, I did not expect there's so much out there. And a lot of these companies struggle to get these products into the NHS. So where we come in as clinicians, where it benefits us, is that we get a chance to work with really intelligent, exciting SMEs to develop products that could potentially transform our healthcare.
It's great to be involved in that little space, that little alchemy of opportunity and ideas where you can say, well, that's great. I don't know how we could do that, but I know someone who might. And these people would be really helpful to bring some ideas and perspective into this. And have you considered that? And what about one of these? And so this idea just begins to bubble and change shape, and it evolves into what it could be and realising its potential. That's a really exciting place to be.
The whole university is committed to this. We have a number of examples where SITE members have engaged with academics in different schools to develop their projects. So, for example, we have funded projects ongoing within
the schools of education and sociology, design and mechanical engineering, sport, health and exercise science, pharmacy and biomedical sciences, and the Department of Psychology.
We started in November 2019. In 2020, COVID hit, and the programme was entirely designed to be face-to-face, in meetings, in spaces, and all of a sudden we had to shift and pivot all of that into online meetings. And so the question was, will businesses still engage with us? how many of them will still be functioning, because COVID had a huge impact on businesses all over the place. And we were able to adapt, and we were able to offer something different, and we were able to continue to offer that level of service and more than had initially been offered, because we were able to listen to those companies and say, okay, what do you need right now? Let's meet you where you are. What do you need next? Let's see if we can do that. What happens after that? Let's see if we can do this. So we were able to pivot, we were able to adapt, we were able to be flexible, which was really helpful. And we've continued to be able to offer that business development support, which in turn will lead to greater innovation in the future. So that's been brilliant.
SITE is instrumental at helping develop new innovations within all spheres, but also particularly in surgery. And that's something that's very important. So the Royal College of Surgeons have recently brought out the Future of Surgery report. And this highlights all the key areas where they think that surgery needs to innovate over the next 10 years. Programs like SITE help to bring those innovations into fruition. And it's something that, from a national point of view, the Royal College of Surgeons of England are recently starting to set up an innovation hub themselves, which is something that I'm helping to lead on. So combining all of this together helps create a more productive landscape for SMEs, innovation, and hopefully the furtherment of patient care for the next decades to come.
SITE's basically opened the door for us to a range of possibilities working with healthcare professionals. We work with the NHS in ways that we couldn't have done without the help of SITE. Because we've got access to clinical research teams, they've given us fabulous advice. It's about innovators, about quick movers, about entrepreneurs, it's about carers, it's about social innovators.
It's great to see people coming along with these lovely fresh ideas that derives from passion somewhere, from what they've experienced or what they do in their career now. And it's just great to be a part of that and to help people move these ideas along. Without innovation, we would just carry on doing things the same as we are. We need to make improvements. We need to work on things that aren't working so well. And without innovation, that just can't happen without having those people with the brilliant ideas and the infrastructure to help them get those ideas through.
We've been able to move our business from doing basic treatments with stem cells in surgeries to creating a biocell lab in this building, which will effectively culture and grow the cells to such a volume that we will be able to reimplant these cells into a human, into a patient, and regrow damaged cartilage, damaged tissue. This is the next phase of orthopedic surgery in the UK and the world. Our aim, using the biocell technology and the patient's own cultured stem cells, is to repair the damage, not replace it, and hence alleviate the need for those surgeries and joint replacements, hence saving the NHS both the operating time and the recovery time, but of course the cost of the replacements themselves.
We're trying to improve the technology for people with neurodisabilities. So people who are non-verbal have problems talking due to conditions such as motor neuron disease, locked-in syndrome due to brainstem stroke or cerebral palsy. So what we're doing is providing an extra switch which can help them use communication devices such as virtual on-screen scanning keyboards, similar to the one that Professor Stephen Hawking used. I think in medtech development, it's the most important thing is your regulatory approval to make sure that you're developing something that's safe and valid. And so you need a partner who's well-versed in how to run trials to prove that. And SITE really has that expertise.
A lot of people do some very intelligent research with very complicated devices, and they hardly ever speak to somebody who might benefit from that device. So it's always nice to be able to put the patient view across and explain how that would be used or not used, and do my bit for the following or future patients that may benefit from those developments.
The Kudos Soother is a completely natural solution that helps babies. It's in the form of a soother that delivers something effective to infants in a very easy way. I think where SITE has been really helpful is the personal support. I think when you are a business founder, business owner, you know, you've got everything on your shoulders. So it is really nice to be able to talk to people who have no linked to your business, who aren't invested in it. So they're able to give you an unbiased opinion, unbiased view.
So I think the success of the SITE program is that SMEs have direct contact with clinicians which are relevant to their product. I think one of the real issues SMEs have is trying to find a clinician in NHS hospital who is interested in their product and is willing to work with them. So I think the great strength of SITE is that we can bring together interested clinicians with SMEs and then let the magic happen.
We want SITE to continue into the future. We want these companies to develop further, to grow and become the next generation of much larger companies which would benefit patients and benefit UK PLC and hopefully benefit the university, academia and SITE programs going into the future.
We've managed to reach more companies than we set out to do. We've managed to support more businesses to develop than we had originally set out to do. And we've been able to do things that I think have stretched even our anticipation of what was possible, but it's what happens next that I'm excited about. I don't want to stop here. I don't want to say, well, that was lovely, we had a lovely time, and then just go back to doing something else. I want to say, what next? How can we continue to grow, evolve and change things and support that innovation that we've been able to see?
I would say SITE has been a huge success. It's helped us build the foundations, but we now need to realise and maximise the benefits from what we have created jointly with the university and our partners at the CRN. So I'm hugely excited about the future of SITE. It has told us that there are many bright ideas out there. There are many people who could transform care in the NHS, but are not given the opportunity. The SITE has opened the doors for many of them to engage with us, and it's also opened the doors and allowed our clinicians to think differently about their disease as well. And that attitude of always improving, looking for innovation, how to improve care at the same time has also meant that we have created a culture of research and innovation in the hospital that allows us to maximise technology as well. So we're always changing. We know that change is necessary. If you don't get change, you don't get progress. So SITE has allowed us to measure and map our progress across a range of diseases as well. And I think the best of SITE is yet to come. Now we have these companies, I'm excited to see the potential of the technologies being used in the NHS.